There's that robot one that I saw, so that's gonna be fun. Now I can get the maximum amount of money I think out of the thing. I like how the co-op ones don't really count. That's good. Because technically this is a single player game, but you can, if you would have wanted to, play this in combo co-op. It is possible, but don't. Alright, time to do some fucking.
Is anyone counting these kills? Mass destruction always relaxes me.
That looks weird, dude.
Simulate that! Just like Johnny talking. Hey, have fun cleaning it. Oh wait, it's a simulation.
Yeah, cleaning is actually easy in a simulation. I'm gonna do whatever the fuck I feel like doing. This thing doesn't really move super fast, gotta be honest with this one. Good old silver. I won't get gold though.
You know, it looks better this way. Whoa.
I think I got gold. Did I get gold? I did indeed get gold. I hear the fucking toom toom. I'm max level. Who cares about the level up, dude? I'm max level. Alright. Nothing can stop me now. I only need to do one more side activity and then I'm done with the game.
Wonder if there are any famous authors trapped on Zinyak's ship.
Would be nice though. Isn't the other one like this way somewhere? I think it's like this way. Yeah.
Yo, Mero, leader of the Brotherhood, is back in town. He tried to take our city. He murdered Carlos. Let's give that bitch what's coming to him.
Oh, I will. Don't you worry about it. It'd be funny if actually after I kill him. Yeah, don't worry about it. I will make sure that this man dies. Yeah, it's like after I kill him, I get like his audio logs and shit like that. Like, I don't even know what I need to do in order to get the audio logs. Like, where am I missing stuff? Because it's like I'm missing like 24 like audio logs or some shit like that. Well, not audio logs, but I'm missing like. All right, Mero, where are you? Bastard.
A good drop.
Oh yeah, you think you can get away from me, dude?
Just that good.
soft ticket. Oh god. Everyone's after me. Mero was that important to them? I didn't even know. You. Mine. I will. Oh, come on. Really? What did I...
Yo, that was the shit. Meet me back on the ship.
On it. On my way. I don't know if that was pain or if that was moaning. Yeah, there you go. One recording session was all I needed to basically almost do everything. This is why I waited, but yeah, alright. I'm to go to Johnny, and then after that we need to find a computer in order to do the Zinyak backstory bullcrap. Matt, you saw nothing.
Now that's what I'm fucking talking about. The dream team is back.
I had a great time, Johnny.
Indeed I did, John, me boy. Alright, let's see here. Need to go over here for the text adventures. I've gotten like almost all the audio logs, I think. Alright. Letters to Santa, yeah. Our story begins in the remote village of Zinshire, a hamlet just west of Zinport in the country of Zinland, on a planet known only as Zin. By nature, the Zen people are an uncultured and slow-witted lot, easily entertained by such diversions as arm wrestling and counting the spots on one's back. The people of Zinshire most especially fit this description, so I'm sure you can already foresee the struggles I endured in my life. The first of those struggles were my parents. My father, a simple butcher, was a small man with a fierce temper. Of all the things I learned from my father, the one that sticks with me the most has to be the proper way to butcher a Zin pig, the thirst for knowledge, the lust for power. My father, though as thick as the back hair on a newly born Zinfant, did indeed have an unquenchable hunger for control. While he never managed to rise higher than the head of a simple village council, he nonetheless carried the dream. I actually thought that was wrong, so my bad. My mother, on the other hand, a gifted seamstress, who married far below her station, wanted me to enjoy the things so many others could not. I remember clearly on the eve of my 13th birthday, her taking me to traveling Zinsphere company's Le Danse Romantique. I don't know. Zinkar's pastry shop, or a camp for rowdy children, of course. Alas, Zingrat's camps for riotous youth was booked for the season. Oh, that was right. One might think a place such as Zinshire would not support a fine bakery, and you would be right. It closed after a year, but it was not for lack of trying on my mother's part. She wished for her only child to have an appreciation for the finer offerings of life, and she began my education with Zinkar's delectable pastries. Not only did I sample the goods at Zinkar's shop, I don't know, but I spent a summer there sweeping the floor, tending the counter, and even learning a bit of the culinary arts. I took to baking with zeal. Clients enjoyed my baked goods, and I became known throughout Zinshire for my... There it was once. While my eclairs were amongst the best ever created, I was actually known for something else. The fresh fruit tarts. Alas, the climate of Zinshire is not conducive to grow fruit. So the cream puffs. I can still feel the layers of crisp dough flaking gently on my tongue, awash in a smooth release of sumptuous cream. Even though Zinkar's endeavor was not long for this world, I continued to sell my renowned cream puffs door to door. a business which thrived. I must say, doing well enough to supplement my admission to the most prestigious private school in Zinland. But that, my friend, is for another story. The written word. It was written in blood. had acquired the money to attend the finest school in Zinland, but that was just the beginning. While I would love to say Zinkov, preparatory, oh my god, I'm having a stroke here, academy embraced me with open arms. The truth of the matter is, I was not the finest student. In order to gain admission, I had to endure rigorous physical and academic testing before they would grant me access to their legendary halls of learning. As is usual for admission to a school of such acclaim, the first of these tests was a scholastic aptitude exam. Killing my own parents. My word! What sort of barbaric school did you attend? Trying out for a sport. While participating in competitive sports is encouraged and a good source of income for any institution of higher learning. Testing for such a thing was not required. Of course not. It was the first one. As was my mother's wish, Zinkov Prep was an institution that prided itself on its scholastic offering. To that end, it only accepted candidates that displayed academic prowess and further promise. So it was that I endured many weeks of standardized testing and training proper to my entrance examination. I am proud to say that I took the studies well and managed to bring up my scores across the board. Still, there was one subject above all others that I had particular affinity for. As you may have already guessed, that subject was mathematics, of course. While I am no stranger to that stuff, mathematics was not the subject that drew me in. Art and history. Though it pains me to admit such faults, art history was my weakest subject. The life of a museum curator. How I shall never know you. Science. To be honest, while I enjoyed the laboratory experiments greatly, I found science as a whole to be rather dull. A dull subject. Of course it was literature. Ah, the written word. I had, like most learned to read while in that place, but that was all very dry text, such as manuals and design documents. It wasn't until this far more serious pursuit into the academy that I came to love the classics. How surprised was I that some of the finest literature in the universe came from a tiny watery planet more than 10 million light years away. While it would be some time until I visited that seemingly unremarkable way station, I had fallen in love with its artistic offerings already. One author's work in particular captured my imagination. Can you guess the scribe responsible? Charles Dickens, of course. I shan't abide any author who dares suggest that did suggest that stuff, and the demand for a proper work ethic are grounds for otherworldly inventions. I don't care if the worker's boy is on crutches. That man had a business to run. No, absolutely not. Of course, Dr. Seuss, why not? The good doctor's work is amongst the finest in literature. There is no doubting that. But I did not get lost amongst his colorful characters and impeccable rhyming structure as much as others. Shame. Mark Twain, of course, if I wanted to read about deceitful children, time-traveling charlatans, and overburdened bullfrogs, I suppose Twain would be the one. But no. Jane Austen, of course. Jane. Sweet, sweet Jane. How like my mother's dreams you are. Even now, all these years later, just the thought of Emma, Eleanor, and Elizabeth's exploits and romantic missteps brings a lump to my throat. Oh, the intoxicating back and forth between Miss Bennet and Mr. Darcy. How I could read those lines toward infinity. It was my celebrated essay on Jane Austen's body of work that caught the attention of the Zinkoff admissions board, who not only allowed me entry into their fine institution, but secured my later position as head of the English Language Appreciators Society. Thus, my love for literature cemented and access to the Zinkoff Preparatory Academy assured, which is where I met the teacher who helped me find my life's true purpose. But that is another tale. Zinkoff Prep. I clearly recall my first tentative steps into Zinkoff Preparatory Academy. I don't even care if I mispronounce words. I'm just going to say them the way that I want to. Oh my god, this is taking forever. I was a lad. I can respect that. From the countryside coming into the big city. Eyes wide and mind eager, I had never seen a building so large or so many finely dressed young people yearning for knowledge. It was the first time in my life I ever felt I was somewhere I truly belonged. Good for you. Of course, not all the Zinlings were courteous, studious-minded folk. Okay. Predictably, it wasn't long before I crossed paths with a brutish young man named Zinfax. We instantly loathed each other. It was obvious from the start that Zinfax took umbrage with my coat of many colors, lower class upbringings, or... There you go. Are you quoting a song or something? While I do consider it one of my finest features, my cranial crown was not the source of Zinfax's ire. It was the lower class upbringing instead. Typical, no? I was now entering the proud and prejudice-filled society I had read about so eagerly just a few months prior. While Zinfax was a bore and a constant thorn in my side, I found solace in my studies. Literature had engaged me early on, but the offerings of Zinkoff Prep allowed me to expand into even higher-minded subjects, such as intergalactical warfare and how to exploit diplomacy for personal gain. What a world of knowledge there was to explore. More than any of the Zinkoff faculty, Professor Zinlo informed my later days. I remember clearly it was just 2 weeks into my first year when Zinlo pulled me aside after class and said to me, "Zinyak, you are natural-born leader. Zinyak, these people are all your inferiors. Zinyak, never let anything or anyone stop you from pursuing your dreams." This one probably. It actually was true. Really. That was actually, I thought it was wrong. I thought it was the first one. Has anyone ever told you that before? What a remarkable thing to say to a formative lad. And he was right. I, as the poor son of an arrogant butcher, had made it to the finest university on the planet. I wasn't just pursuing my dreams. I was living one. Those words kept me strong through 4 years of demanding study, kept my mind clear from physical distraction, and are to thank for my graduating with honors from Zinkoff Preparatory, a first for anyone from the hamlet of Zinshire. Upon receiving my diploma, I knew exactly what I must do. Kill Zinfax, enter military service, or kill Zinfax and then enter military service. Kill him! Rather short-sighted, don't you think? Enter the military service. Not before I settle some unfinished business, certainly. Kill him! Do both! Order of operation, don't you know? Yes, I admit I let my personal dislike for that heinous bully overcome me, and I snapped Zinfax's neck like old bark flaking off a dying oak. My time at Zinyak Preparatory now at an end. I entered yet another phase of my life, one that would take me to a great many exotic locations and allow me to realize finally my true potential. Thus ends my years in as a plucky child. Next we meet, I shall regale you with the tale of Zinyak, the young man. This is taking forever. Jesus Christ, we got so much to read here. Okay, fine. I'll read it all. Don't worry about it. It's gonna take the entirety of this video to read this all, but I'll do it. After my time at Zinyak Preparatory Academy, I did what all young people on Zin must do. I entered the military. Prior to my days at Zinyak, I admit I did not look forward to this rite of passage, but after I realized I relished the idea of honing myself into the specimen I would later become.